Clausewitz was the winner. Clausewitz. So now we will see. Are we dealing with Bigdenburg or are we dealing with Clauseshits? This is the defining moment. Clausewitz, super cruiser. Year of design 1945. Designed for long-distance raids, heavy cruiser with 210mm guns as well as powerful anti-aircraft and torpedo armaments. Is it a Bigdenburg or is it the Clauseshits? See, this is giving me a 2.4K alpha as well, chat. Someone said it's supposed to be 2.9, but we're not really seeing any proof of that. Because if it's 2.4, then it's just kind of worse. Because that's sad HE alpha. I've heard some people say, oh, it's not changed to 2.9K, but then I've had others who have literally data mined it and they're like, it's just 2.4. So at this point, I don't know what they're supposed to be. It's supposed to be 2.9K. That's what they're saying, yes. If it's 2.9K, then it just does more DPM than the Hinden. As far as we know, 2.4K is bugged. Okay, well we're gonna go from the assumption that 2.4K is a bug and not intended, and it's supposed to be 2.9K. 58K health, and it's pretty spicy. 58K, not that big of an improvement for Hinden, but well, more than 10%. It's still significant. 6K Torps, 13.7 very standard German, 18.5 base. That's pretty good. What's Hinden base? 17.8? I think Hinden base is 17.8. 18.5 with spotter on top. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. 32.5, so standard speed. Nothing special there. Hydros 6km, I assume. Yeah, standard 6km. Standard spotter. Standard heal. With 4 of them, 5 with superintendent. Better speed is it 17.5, says Gent. Is Hindenburg 17 point? No, it's 17.8. I remember exactly correctly. It's 1 knot faster though. No, I was correct on that. It's 1 knot faster, but the range is better. We're listening to idiots. Wow, Jesus, calm down, calm down. Bigdenburg or Clausenitz? Well, first of all, the sheer amount of superstructure is, whew, like this is a lot to farm. Let's be honest, this is a lot to farm. This is a lot to farm. There's a lot of superstructure to munch on. The torpedo tubes are kind of central, which is generally kind of good. They break easier of course, but they're much more useful. Now I've heard the firing angles from the data mines that this thing has pretty terrible firing angles. Pretty terrible firing angles. Let's see. Armor. Okay. Got a small icebreaker. 27mm schnoz. 30mm upper deck. 50mm deck armor though. That's huge. That's really huge. Because you gotta remember that Hindenburg plays at range. Hindenburg plays at really far ranges. Like you don't want to play close range in Hindenburg. You sit at far and farm. So obviously trying to push in this thing is gonna suck. And the sheer amount of overmatch hits you're gonna take here is obviously gonna suck, but at range, where you're dealing with plunging fire, this thing is going to be pretty tanky. 58k health with all the healing ability. 50mm is strong on a cruiser. It gets punished when it tries to go in and torp, which is kind of fine. Oh, okay, so it's got, is it standard Hindenburg Citadel? That depends. The question is, what kind of turtleback are we talking about here? What kind of turtleback are we talking about here? 130mm plating, not exactly impressive. 60mm, but what kind of angling? This thing is going to be a pain in the ass to Citadel for cruisers again. Only the ones with improved pen angles are going to be able to do it. Only the ones with improved pen angles are going to be able to do it, I think. Posted the angles in your Discord, have a peek. Okay, let's see. All warships. Okay, here we go. Thank you. Thank you, waifu detonator for 36 months. Interesting, that's a firing angle. That's not very good, firing angles. Jesus. Especially kiting away. Oof. The kiting away angles are kind of brutal. This reminds me almost of GK angles. It's 37 degrees forward. Holy. This looks different though. I remember the Hindenburg having a different turret thing. Like this part here, because you can Citadel Hindenburg under the turrets. It doesn't look like you can Citadel that thing under the turrets. It's, no, look, like it's different layers. This is interesting. This is interesting. Look, it's different segments, isn't it? Yeah, and it's 45 here, 60 here, but this, look at the slope. You see how, you see the steepness of this slope? I don't think the Clausewitz had that. Let me check it. Look at that again. No! No, look! Completely different angle. One of the great weaknesses of the Hindenburg is that if you shoot it under the front turrets, it's so steep that you can easily like punch through the Citadel. But look at the difference in angle. Look at the slope. That's completely different slope. You can see it's not even separated in the different segments. It's 60 across the board. But more importantly, the slope here is night and day difference from the Hindenburg. This is going to be a hardship to Citadel. This thing is going to be hella hard to Citadel. Thank you, Dutchman. Holy. Thank you for 5 gifted subs, Dutchman. This thing is going to be a complete pain in the ass to Citadel close range. I wonder if you can even do it with DM and such. Like, does it have enough angle to go through this? Because this is a slope and a half. Interesting. So it looks more resilient to Citadels, especially at close range, and significantly more resilient to all sorts of overmatch, and, well, some amount of HE at range. The issue is the superstructure that's going to be farmed, but I mean, in terms of eating full pens and stuff from AP, this is going to save it a lot. Will it be the same as Hinder? You can punish it at long range? Probably. Because like the armor, actual thickness of the armor is not very impressive. It's 130 with a 60mm turtleback, which is good against other ships, but against battleships, of course, I mean, shells come in like this. It's gonna easily be able to go through, especially for 57s that can overmatch this part. Actually, no, I don't know. Maybe. But battleships won't have issues Citadeling this thing at range at all, I think. But close range, the difference in slope is going to be really, really different. Like if someone wants, they can take a screenshot of this. Like take a screenshot of this. Like look at this shit. Alright, wait, let me remove it. Like look at this slope here. Look at this slope. Holy. You can compare this slope. Well, you can just look at the cube, the way it's shaped. Or not the cube, but like the Citadel. You can see this shape here, and this like you compare that slope to the Clausewitz slope, and holy, difference is huge. Absolutely huge. Like, Jesus. It's so different. Clearly the sloping is completely different. Interesting. Interesting. That's Clausewitz. Potential Bigdenburg. The issue is, of course, the firing angles look garbage, and the Clausewitz doesn't actually get any special gimmick. Now, not having a gimmick on a supership is something I think is generally a good thing. If I got to choose, there would be no gimmicks on any of the superships, no special burst mode or whatever. But the problem is, Annapolis is already a DPM and health upgrade from the Des Moines, and it gets a burst. Conde is a DPM and health upgrade from the Henry, and right, I mean Conde gets a gimmick as well as being a health and DPM upgrade, and all of the Patri is getting is a health and damage increase from the Republic, and it gets a gimmick. Basically, every other super ships is already an upgrade, but then they get a gimmick on top. But now, for some reason, for the Clausewitz, they're like, yeah, you'll get a slight damage increase and a slight health increase, but no gimmick. And it's like, okay, but like, isn't that pretty questionable? Belt penetration and impact angle. Okay, let's see. Let's look at this. Belt penetration, supernova, belt penetration, Hindenburg. It is across the board a slight increase. It's not really that big of an increase. It will probably be most useful at these ranges, where you can actually citadel a lot of cruisers at 17 to 19 kilometers, whereas Hindenburg can't quite pull it off; it struggles. So this would really where the biggest advantage is. Here the difference is quite small. The impact angle is an improvement though, but that's kind of tied into the penetration. But yeah, I don't really like, if I got to choose, none of the super ships would have a gimmick, but if you give a gimmick to everyone else and then you exclude one, then obviously that one is getting screwed. I mean, that's really the way it works. What do we have? Queen Mary. The last British battlecruiser that entered service before World War I. A fast ship with powerful main battery guns, but rather weak armor protection. What kind of line? Standard heal. Standard damage gun, but torpedoes. 10 km torp, 6 km range. Interesting. Interesting. 48, almost 50k health on a tier 4. 14.5 km range. 27.5. God damn, that's pretty spicy. 343 is that. This thing an underwater torpedo tubes, right? I assume, are they in the front? Can we see them? Can't really see them. Are they in the front forward firing? I assume so. Oh, wait, what do we have? We have an extra. What do we have here, Erickson? Auxiliary room armor. We got a new... Is there any other ship that has an auxiliary room armor scheme? Is there any other ship that has this? This is new. Which ones? Ise. Ah, that's pretty new then. Ise is pretty new as well. Does Shanbart have that? Shit, I haven't looked at Shanbart's armor in ages. Shit, I don't remember seeing this. Ah, CVs have them. Ah, well, that would explain it. LML. That would explain it. Okay, wait, so this was supposed to be bad armor. 32mm deck at tier 4. Nothing can really overmatch that. This is overmatchable, sure. Cruisers aren't going to be able to pen it, though. Nose is overmatchable, sure, but it's got a gigantic like half icebreaker. It's got a lot of plating on the side. It's got a lot of plating on the side. Not a whole lot of superstructure, really. I don't know about lightly armored on this one for tier 4. This thing looks pretty wacko. Hello? Whoa! Sir? Where the fuck is your citadel, sir? Holy shit. Okay. Man, this extra plating really helps it. Holy. Yo! That thing is basically underwater. Yeah, it's underwater. It's clearly underwater. It's clearly underwater. Hello? What kind of turtleback are we talking here? 25. What the hell can go through a 25mm turtleback at this tier? 380mm guns? Are there any 380s at tier 4-5? No? There's no 380s. This thing is literally uncitadelable. And it has a lot of armor. Huh. Really? Interesting. That is, not what came to mind when they said rather weak armor protection. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Oh, which port can I see them in? Actually, we can go... Isn't designer's table? You're right, you're right. You're right. Whoops, what am I doing? Designer's table should be able to see them. Thank you, good tip. There they are. You see, aren't they those? I'm pretty sure they're those. Forward firing, straightforward firing torpedo tubes right there. There and there. No, that's not them. Where the hell are they then? Are they backwards firing? No, they're not there. Where the shit are they? Normally they're mounted like here if they are. They fire sideways? Where? No way it's these things. No way it's these things. These things? No way. That's the Torpedo Angles. Holy shit, they're awful. Below the front guns. These things. So it was these things. Yeah, it was these things. They fire like this, outwards. Straight outwards. It is these things. That's what I fucking said. It is these things. That's clearly a tube. Spaceport has better lighting. Are you fucking blind? Holy moly, the torpedo angles now. Holy moly, the angles. They fire like straight out like this. Interesting. Jesus. Interesting. Interesting. They fire to the sides? Yeah, they don't fire forward as I might have hoped. They fire like this. Jesus. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let me change port back. Let me go Fjord. Everyone likes Fjord. If you don't think Fjord is the best port, then you're just wrong. Tough. Okay, let's check the next one. Basically only usable drybys, basically. Okay, Tiger. 1914. A battle cruiser which, unlike her predecessors, had a more rational layout of main battery turrets at her bow and aft end, as well as more powerful secondary battery guns. Interesting. In 343s, almost the same health. Some AA values, probably not a lot. 10k torps. Sorry, 10k torps, 6 km range. 16.3 km range, not bad. 29 knots. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. With 8% speed boost and flag. Tiger is going to be hella fast for tier 5. Holy. Wait, how fast is this thing going to be? What was it, 29? It was 29 time. We put a speed flag on it. Oh, hello? Put a speed flag on it, and then we put the speed boost on 33 knots. 33 knots at tier 5. That's pretty spicy. Actual cruiser speeds, right? Not a whole lot of superstructure on this boy either. Casemate secondaries, which are off. This thing has more vulnerable nose. 16, but whoa! The central part, anything but vulnerable. Holy shit. Good lord. Where is the citadel on this line, chat? Hello? Why is this the gimmick? Jesus. Hello? Whoa! What the fuck is this tumor? Interesting. I guess this is where you want to hit this thing. Back between the turrets. What a weird spot. It's pregnant. What the hell? $25, less useful at tier 5. Interesting. It's still a lot of armor to work through, man. I don't think this one is gonna get citadel much. Jeez. Tiger has even weirder looking torpedo tubes. Wait, I actually want to look at this in... Okay, what port was it? Space or Azure Lane? Azure Lane, okay, sure. Yeah, this is gonna have the... These torpedo tubes are wonky as hell. What the fuck? So chat, this ship has... Okay, just to put it, this ship has a torpedo tube here that fires this way. It's got a similar one here that also fires this way. But then it also has in the back this tube that also fires this way. And this tube that fires this way for a torpedo tube firing arc that looks like this. What? That doesn't surprise me. I mean, same builder. What the f... Okay, interesting. Look at that, it's a butterfly, right? What the hell? Interesting. 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 Okay. Let's see, next up we have... Collingwood? Oh, let's do the normals then and the premiums afterwards. What was the difference between St. Vincent and St. Lawrence? They were testing two different gimmicks, weren't they? They were the same ship, but they were testing two different gimmicks, right? Oh, you were testing long range versus short range playstyles. That's the one. I need to go take out the thing from the dryer. AA value is actually starting to look like they're there. 16k torps now at tier 7. 8k range on them as well. Interesting. 17.5 km range. 31.9 knots. Yo, what? At tier 7? 31.9. We add a speed flag. What kind of speed boost we talking? 8%. Okay, we add a speed boost. 36 knots with 381s. Holy shit. Kinda scary. Jesus. Kinda scary, I'm not gonna lie. Defensive AI, repair party. Okay. Jesus, that's a lot of shell catchers. This thing is long, by the way. Holy shit. Were they compensating for something? Good lord. Hello, Hood, right? Okay. Well, what happened to the armor? Let me go take out the thing, but like, hello? Where did the armor go? Where did it? Hello? Did they put it all on the Kremlin or something? What happened? 16mm full schnoz, 26mm upper belt and deck. Obviously, 380s are gonna overmatch this, which at tier 7 there are plenty. Big superstructure, thinly plated. Booty all overmatchable. Okay, what do we have here? 26mm torpedo, behind which we have... Wait, hello? We lost a small bit. We lost a small chunk. Very small chunk. I wonder if there's some internal plates there. Let me actually look at... Well, first let me strip down some of this. Interesting. Turtleback is gone. The turtleback we had at lower tiers is entirely gone. We have a citadel that is plenty below the water. Jesus, plenty below the waterline. So it's actually not that vulnerable. However, plunging fire on 16mm overmatchable deck is gonna punch through a lot of things. Let me look at this now. Is there any internal plates here? Whoa. Okay, hidden plate here. So you're not gonna get nodes and citadels on this thing, I think. I wonder how it looks on the inside, but there's this is what I suspected. There's something hidden here. There's a lot of armor hidden here. So you're not gonna get nodes and cits on it, probably. Hidden plate here, hidden plate here. Yeah, they don't want nose in or booty and citadels on this thing. But plunging hits are gonna smash it. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a hidden deck armor, right? There, like somewhere here, a hidden plate. That wouldn't entirely surprise me. That wouldn't entirely surprise me. Rook has sideways torps as well. Come out from the front like this sideways, so nothing special there. Oh, it does have hidden plates. Ah, there we go, there we go. Okay, let's see. Rook. Yeah, okay, here we go. Rook hidden plates. Yeah, look at this. It's got a hidden plate protecting the citadel, and it's got a hidden plate extending inside the nose here. So the odds of actually getting a citadel on this thing is nigh impossible. Fair enough. You gotta love when they always put hidden plates everywhere, man. You gotta love that. You gotta fucking love that shit. Classic wargaming. Classic wargaming. It's kind of like Slava. People are like, oh, Citadel Slava through the nose. No, you can't. 420mm angled plate. Hidden inside. Pull them out. Okay, let's look at Duncan next. Duncan. What do we say about Duncan? Year of design. 1920, a battlecruiser project built after World War I, Project G3. The ship's distinctive features was the arrangement of 490mm main battery guns. Okay. 30-second reload. Hard hitting HE and AP. 75.2k health. Ooh, 21k torps. These hit hard. 18.9 camera range. 32 knots with a 8 knot thing. Okay, so for about 36 knots speed on this thing. About 36. Super heal. Super heal. No longer standard heal. Super heal. Defensive AA as well. Let's see what do we have here. Okay, no armor. 25 is basically a meme. 32, 32, 32. So a lot of overmatching capacity against this thing. Wait, this is the Citadel? Okay, that was a change in design from the earlier tier. Interesting. Okay, so 303, you're not gonna get plunging citadels on this, but I mean, aren't bombers, like AP bombers, really gonna enjoy this thing? Are they really gonna enjoy this thing? Now there's a lot of hidden plates on this thing. We're gonna look at those in just a bit. And that's a lot of citadel. Okay, now let's look at the hidden plates, because this thing is a real fiesta of wargaming's hidden plates fantasies. So first of all, you might think, well, surely this thing is gonna get overmatched and citadeled. Well, it's not. It's kind of like Slava all over again. There are hidden plates here, here, here. So this protects that entire lower part of the citadel. So there's basically a jut coming out like this and like this, so you're not gonna get citadel through here. It's all one big hidden plate. One big hidden plate here. So that's not gonna happen. There looks like similar hidden plates in the back as well. It is actually below this big thing though. It's actually below here. I think it's below here, so technically if you got enough pen, you can probably punch nose and sits on this thing pretty easily. Unless there's some sort of sloped plates. If it's just this thing, 305 isn't that much armor. I think this thing can be punched straight through the nose and citadel quite easily, in fact, especially close range. The red plate is even thicker. It's even thicker, the hidden one. The hidden one is even thicker? Well then, never mind, you won't be able to do it. Oh yeah, actually, you can tell. You can tell. Oh yeah, you can tell it's actually even thicker based on the colors, because look, if we look at our picture here, if we look at this thing, you see this is the same color. 305, 305, 305. No, actually no, I don't think it's actually thicker. It looks like exactly the same. It looks exactly the same. This is 203, this is 305. I think it's just this thing. It doesn't look like there's an additional plate. It's just Wargaming's own viewer has such poor color detail. Oh no, this thing can be citadel through the nose, I'm almost sure. I'm almost sure of that. So we went from turtleback citadels to underwater citadels, well both, and now we have this thing, which is looking like it can get chunked incredibly hard. Not particularly good look. Oh, Jesus Christ. We didn't even talk about this. What the fuck is this? But firing angles. What was this, Duncan? Yeah, Duncan firing angles. Actually, not even that bad. The firing angles aren't as bad as I thought they would be. They're actually better than I expected. Firing angles are actually better than I expected. I think the one turret is going to be struggling though. I mean, this thing is going to be struggling though. Yikes. Yikes. Not very impressed so far. Not very impressed by this one so far. St. Vincent. A large battlecruiser based on the concept of the I-3 project designed in 1920. The ship's main battery is represented by 457mm guns in turret mounts at the ship's bow and in central part of the hull. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Tier 10. Huge hard-hitting 457, 7.1k HE, 15k AP almost. 79.4k health, not that impressive. 21 knot torps with 45-second reload. 622mm torps. Those are huge. Those are huge. Isn't Shima like 533 or what is it, 580 or something? These are huge. 19.5k range. 108k horsepower, 32.5 knots. Okay, so this thing will do almost 37 knots. Long lances is 610. Oh yeah, these are 620s. 622s. These are the biggest torps in the game there. On a battle cruiser? Interesting. Defensive AA, speed boost, super heal. Okay, wow. Jesus. It's like Jesus. Jesus. That is... Whew! That's a lot to take in, man. It's like... This is like one ship. One ship starts here and ends here. And then this is like another ship. And then this is like a third ship. In fact, if this was removed and these two parts were just combined, it could kind of make like one normal ship maybe. But like this entire... Like, what the fuck am I watching? Huh. Jesus. Thank you, Flux. And Brains. 25mm schnoz. 40mm deck. 32mm plating. Interesting. Okay, is this Citadel? No. Okay, so now this thing is a huge upgrade from the tier 9 in terms of Citadel. Man, they really want you to grind past that tier 9. Holy shit. Like, don't even play the tier 9. Go for this one. You get the same size thing here, but it's not a Citadel all of a sudden. Okay, thanks. Thanks, man. This is the brawling version? Okay, fair enough. So this is the brawling version of these two. Turtleback. Waterline Citadel. Protected by a... what looks like punchable through turtleback, honestly. This angle is way too steep. You're gonna punch straight through it. You're gonna punch straight through this one and get citadels for sure. What kind of hidden plates do we have on this thing? Not really that much. We just got a hidden plate coming out here, protecting like this. There's not much else to it. Not much else in terms of hidden plates on this thing. Barbette doesn't reach the Citadel? Wargaming, please. This is how you know that the Citadel is supposed to be here. Because the Barbette goes into the ammo storage, but because Wargaming decided that nah, so they just removed this part. It's suddenly not a Citadel anymore. Shh. Wow. That's just silly, honestly. That's just... Sheesh, that's just silly. You know for a fact that like this is supposed to be a Citadel. All of this is the entire thing is supposed to be a Citadel. Let's check the other version. Actually, first I want to show you guys something that is actually interesting on this thing. Oh, well, sorry, let me go forward. This thing finally gets what could be considered useful torpedoes. These torpedoes are forward firing. So the biggest torps, these are forward firing. Which is a pretty big difference to basically everything else. In fact, you can see that firing angles here. Straightforward. You gotta remember, these are the massive torpedoes that deal 21k a pop. So they really want you to ignore the rest of the line and go for the tier 10. The tier 10 is the one that gets all the goodies. Torpedo tubes that are actually useful and just armor and Citadel gone and so forth. Value on the Citadel deck? This thing? It looked overmatchable. Wonder if it actually is overmatchable. Punch through here and overmatch Citadel? Very plausible. Very plausible, unless there's something hidden. Let's look at the non-brawling one. The non-brawling version of this one, the St. Lawrence. Okay. 25. 32, 32, 32. Very standard looking so far. It looks the same. It's the same so far. .21 km range. Is that the difference? I think it's better range. 21.5 km range. Or did they both have 21? This is 19.5 with 30-second reload and 10 km torps. So that's the brawling one. And then this other one, the non-brawling one, has 25-second reload, 4 km torps, and better range. But I mean, if you're going to use those torps, the range doesn't really matter. And I would much rather have faster reload and better range on the guns and still brawl in it, if the armor is the same. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Dispersions are way different, they have to be. But still, like, if the armor is the same... Oh, there's no super heal on this one. There's no super heal on this one. Interesting. A lot of secondaries on the ships. A lot of kiting secondaries. Like the forward firing secondaries are non-existent, but then the kiting secondaries, holy shit. The problem is the booty though. The problem is the booty. It looks so farmable. Like, look at everything you have to shoot when you're behind the ship. Holy shit. Baby's got back. God damn. That's a lot of ass to farm, man. Holy, you love to watch it leave, this thing, goddamn. And you can't even shoot backwards, right? Hello, Mr. Tanner. Bottom heavy, very much. Okay, let's check out Mr. Collingwood. A battleship with main armies consisting of 6 490mm guns placed in 3 turrets and ships bow, similar to Nelson class battleships. So it's a Nelson without the super heel, 19 km range, 25 knot speed. Selling the same ship again? Whoa, wait. Hello? What? Hello, excuse me. 419. Isn't Nelson 406? But what's the benefit of getting... Look, there's no benefit to going from 406 to 419. There is no benefit in World of Warships. There's no benefit. Look, what can 406mm guns overmatch? Well, they can overmatch... Oh, what the fuck did I do? Oh, I'm an imbecile. One second. What can 406mm guns overmatch? They can overmatch 28, a bit more than 28mm of plating. And what armor do we have in World of Warships? Well, we have 27 and we have 30. So, in order for this threshold to be significant, we'd need to either go below 27 or above 30. The problem is, 490mm guns, well, they just overmatch 29. The advantage is we go from overmatching 28 to 29. The problem is there is no 28 or 29mm plating in World of Warships, so the actual benefit doesn't exist. So we're trading a third of our guns for an additional overmatch that we don't need. If it's Conqueror guns, we'll get a lot more penetration. But honestly, penetration isn't really that big of an issue for Nelson. Oof. 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 Did Nelson have 16? No? Isn't Nelson 26? Oof. Oof. Same Citadel, but no super heel. Same Citadel, but no super heel. No super heel and thinner nose. And less guns. Huh. And less DPM, yeah. Reload is 25, sure, but you're losing a third of your guns. 5 seconds reload isn't going to make up for that. Yeesh. Yeah, looks like almost Conqueror HE, but it's 6 guns. Very slow shells as well. 747 on the AP, oof, shit. Like, it's got a 16mm nose. 16mm nose. Every battlecruiser in the game is gonna overmatch it. Shit, like all the tier 9 like Alaskas and shit Like, imagine running into Alaska with this thing. He just smashes, he overmatches your nose and smashes you. Graf Speer can overmatch it. Scharnhorst can overmatch it. Drake has 234s, doesn't it? Jesus. Henry doesn't count. You can't face tier 10. But oof, yeah. Not really a fan of what I'm seeing on this one. Is that all of them? I think that's all of them, boys. Let me double check we didn't miss anything. Shish. Yeah, not really that impressed by that. I mean, the Royal Navy battlecruiser line, first impressions is that you suffer until you hit tier 10 and then you have quite the monster on your hands, potentially. It's huge, but like, it's got a lot of nastiness to it.